Expenditure
13.38.
Right. Expenditure for development.
Total expenditure.
Yes.
Total without debt.
20.
Total expenditure without debt. Right?
That is development plus recurrent.
Development plus recurrent.
That's 20.6.
Plus, no. Development, you must have taken wrong figures. Development is 6 trillion.
Yes. Recurrent.
Right? Recurrent expenditure.
14.6.
No. I think I was telling you the total.
Yes.
So development is 6 trillion.
Yes.
In there, you add county expenditure, right, to 6 trillion. You add county expenditure. You add all the allowances, all the salaries, everything. The total,
is what
inclusive of development,
is what
comes to 14.6. Yes.
So
all right.
14.6 minus 13 point.
Correct.
That is 1.3.
Correct.
So that's the total deficit.
That's the total deficit. Correct? So how much did we borrow?
Over the last 10 years.
Yes. Shall I give you the figure?
Yes.
7.7. 7.7
Okay.
trillion.
The question is, this 6.6 for development,
Just before you go there,
was it tax financed? All of it, or some of it?
in fact, that's what I want us to get to. So, if we had a deficit, a shortfall of 1.3, we borrowed 7.7,
Okay.
which means we borrowed 6.4 trillion above what we needed. All right? Above what we needed. Now, that 1.2, you're asking Eric about development. If our 6 trillion, right, was the development expenditure, 1.2, 1.3 would have been about 20% of the development budget. 10% is 6.6.
Yes.
It's about 20% of development budget. So 80% of our taxes would have been able to pay
To cover.
to cover development. Are we together? Now, we borrowed 6.4, correct?
Yes.
Above
The deficit.
the deficit. Now, 1.2 is the deficit of 10 years. So 6.4 is the deficit of how many years? Correct.
So there
Like
was no
60
need,
years.
there was
No,
need.
like 60 years.
Times 6.
All right? No, 10 years with 1.2.
Right. So
So the 6 is another 60 years.
I'm still stuck on that.
And you
6.
actually,
I'm still stuck at the 6.
6 trillion.
Yeah. The development
Expenditure.
that you've calculated, was it all tax financed? That's 6 trillion shillings.
You see, let me put it categorically this way. That if we had a deficit of 1.2, 1.3, you can say that 80% of it was tax financed. 20%
Was borrowed.
was borrowed. 25% was borrowed, which is in keeping with our laws. Are we together? Yes. But we still borrowed an extra 6.5 trillion above what we needed. And that's, Eric, the point I want you to catch.
And where did it go to?
That's the big question. That 6.5 trillion, right, is a deficit of the next 60 years.
what you're saying essentially is that
Yes.
we're not getting out of this hole.
We're not getting out of
If
this
we
hole.
keep paying back this amount of money,
Yeah.
and it's 60 years
Yes.
essentially of
Somebody
debt.
has made sure we have borrowed for the next 60 years. Spent it now. We don't know on what. We can't get out of it unless we address this odious debt. We can't. This is a never-ending problem. It will not end. This pain we are feeling is not going to go away. You know, it's just not going to go away. You're not going to tax your way out of this problem of 60 years forward. We are not.
Let's
That is
take a
a
break.
reality.
Let's take a break. 29 minutes to 9. Jimmy Wanjeke is our guest this morning. We are talking about the state of the economy. We've started on that issue. All right. Back to that one. Odious debt.